This one goes up. A long time ago, there was a sword. And this sword came walking into this new land. Puffs his chest up like this. You guys all puff your chest up. The power pose. And that sword said, I'll defeat anyone who dare challenge me. I'll defeat you right where you stand. Speak up, and I'll defeat you. And it was quiet. So that sword kept walking down the trail. This new land had never been. Puffs his chest up again. Says, I'll defeat anyone who dare challenge me. Speak now, and I'll defeat you. And finally, a voice is heard. From up above, a voice says, I'll challenge you. And that sword looks around, doesn't see anybody. But a tree looks down on that sword and says, I've been here a long time. I've provided the people with their houses. I've provided them with their means of transportation. I've provided them with warmth. I've provided them with clothing. I'll challenge you. So that tree and the sword, they fight a long, terrible fight, and in the end, that sword stands on top of the tree, which is now in a bunch of bits, splinters, and little tiny pieces. And it puffs his chest up again and says, see, I've defeated tree, and I'll defeat anyone else who dare challenge me. Speak now, and I'll defeat you where you are. And it was quiet. Some four-legged ones were kind of like, what's that sword doing? What's up with him, you know? So that sword starts walking back down the trail. Comes to another spot, puffs his chest up again. Says, I'll defeat anyone who dare challenge me. Speak now and I'll defeat you. So that sword looks left, looks right, doesn't see anybody speak up. And hears a voice from down low. That voice says, I'll challenge you. Sword's like, who speaks? Stone speaks up. Says, I've been here before the trees, I've been here before the people. I've been here before the four-leggeds. Probably watched them all go. I'm strong. I'll challenge you, sword. So the sword and the stone, they fight a long, terrible fight. And in the end, the sword stands on top of a bunch of pebbles. And now that sword is a little bit chipped, a little bit dulled, a little bit scratched from fighting that rock. It's also a little less sharp because it fought the tree. By now, some two-leggeds were there, some winged ones were there, some four-legged ones were there. And there was people that were watching. No spirits. The winged people, they were watching. Four-legged people, they were watching. And that sword stands up. You see, defeated both the stone and the tree. I'll defeat any of you who speak up. And it's quiet. All you hear is whoosh. You guys make that same sound. And that sound was the sound of the river. This river that flowed from the top of the mountain to the bottom of that ocean like it had always done. It was the only sound that was heard. Make that sound again. So that sword took that sound as a challenge and it went over to the side of that embankment. Looked down at that river flowing. And said, River, you're the only one that makes sound. I take it as a challenge. And I'm going to defeat you. What does that river do, you think? Just makes that same sound. Make it again. Flowing from the top of the mountain to the bottom of that ocean like it had always done. And so that sword starts swinging away. Swings left, swings right. Some water goes left, some water goes there, some water goes there. Underneath, some fish. They get startled and they move. But in the end, the sword loses itself in its own fight, loses its balance, and falls down to the bottom of that river. And it rests, and eventually disappears. got to be like that river when it comes to our language. We got to speak the language we have always spoken since time began. We got to sing them songs that we've always sang. We've got to stand in that same way we have always stood, in that strong way. We got to be there for each other. We got to share with each other. This is all we got right here, right now. And it's all we need. And so I want to share that. This is a story came from the Zapatista people. Zapatistas who are doing a lot of good work. Maybe Julissa could talk about Zapatistas and the people